Hello, 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 everyone. How are you all? Hopefully, you're all doing well. We're just getting set up here. It's just going to take me just a few more moments. I do apologize. Thank you for holding on. Let me just make sure this works. Does. Awesome. Cool. Well, there we go. So, today we're playing some Final Fantasy XIV. Um, dun dun dun. Just gotta wait for the queue here. But how is everyone's night going? Hopefully, it's going well. Okay. Yep, this is where we need to go, because that's where we left off with the story. Well, if it ever loads here. There we go. Wait, what? Uh, level 90 isn't even the level cap. My only thought process is that it's not actually level 70, but I-70, or I-90. Because I remember decline... Yeah, it's I level 70. I mean, that's worthless to me, but... Xanthella has orders to point you in the direction of the Lemenson underworld. There must inform me of the arrangement I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Ugiri. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Hjorn man there and present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now, before you go, I'm obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of Lamenson society. They value their independence more highly than pirates and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. They'll be penned by the Admiral herself. Mere words on parchment will get you only so far into their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here's the letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. Got business with me, venturer? Yeah, I got this letter of recommendation. So, you're the woman the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred too. Been a while since I saw his shite-eaten grin. But what with all the doe-eyed wenches about, I expect he's got his hands full. Ah, and you must be the far easterner of what Merweb says she wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, my lady. I'm Ugiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when first I learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that. Last, Limsa's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you have developed fighting techniques suited to this purpose, I see. Know that the practitioner and I are two art denizens of shadow. 'Tis in stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then what in the seven hells are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, Ugiri, do what's it? We can get acquainted in more private surrounds. Ugiri, do what's it? Ugiri. Ah, that didn't come out right, did it? No, no, it did not. But it was so very, very funny, even regardless of the innuendo there. I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us, Domans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When that time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. I forgot the Nox set ever existed. Is the air of one bursting with gratitude. Much and more has occurred since I beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice to say, I did not envisage being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you over long. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured that I no longer require an escort in this land. When next you meet Lady Menphilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person. But I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. Oh yeah, I should probably switch to a class that would actually benefit more from doing these quests. There's Samurai. Oh, wait. Rising Stones, that's not even the right place anymore. Crap. That's more donuts. Gotta make sure to go to the right spot.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me.
Yeah, just let me grab something to drink here, Minfilia.
When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the Echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder. Could the legend in fact refer to the Echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is Artemis?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
Preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
Thus supporting my theory that all Lalafell are evil. I mean, you meet the occasional one that's good, but at least storyline-wise, they're all pretty much evil. The players, on the other hand, usually pretty good. Lalafell, if you're a role player, usually pretty good, most of the time. But storyline-wise, Square paints them as being the most evil race and all of them, as far as I can tell. Our friends, the very Isle itself, everyone and everything? No, it avails us not to speculate. Erngard will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter. One closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations which we had previously attributed to good King Mughal the 12th. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the 12's wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude that may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... So I do not wish to interrupt. We have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees hailing from Olda this summer come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they are in the seventh heaven, waiting a formal response. I see, maybe this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. You know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. Apologies for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfili, and I lead the science of the Seventh Dawn. Toby phrase, it is you. We're ready and willing to work. Same as Domas. Just give us a task, and we'll see it done. Very calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Odo for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man, not as would sully his soul sooner than his palms, any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards of the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I know we had to run. The only question was where. And then it came to me, Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I feel this situation is rather more complicated. While it's true that we accepted Doma's petition for aid, that decision was a product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it's with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your backs on us? If I might have a word. Is Artemis? Ill tidings from Odo, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be according to the flames. The refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. Seven hells, now the blades have an excuse to round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady, we are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, do we know more of things concerning this right? I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? I mean, she's not being blind. She's playing the politics of the situation. And tactically and strategically, she is absolutely right in how she's handling this. But it is a very cold stance to take. Find Alphino quickly if he is in danger or worse. I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we are discussing earlier. Ida and Papalmo will see to it. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Illusion. where am I going here?
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Ul'dans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees,
We'll start
an
that
attitude
battle up here in
shared by
just
the
a moment.
rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Okay. Switch over to the Stream Raiders fight here. Let's go, let's go. I haven't even gotten a single kill. But thinking I am playing a tank there, so. Randomly give out reward there. Let's see, how do I want to go about this? So yeah, we'll go top, then down. Okay, there we go. New battle started. Back to the fun. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur. Given the rising tensions within the Sultanate, nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Bond has to say upon the matter. So I'm used to Balmung, where this would just be packed. I mean, absolutely packed with people. Now is not a good time. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Besides the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alphino, back on your feet already? You may credit my swift recovery to your chirurgeons. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thanalan. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine. Given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they come to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the old ancestry and the refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. I'd kind of have to agree with Alphino on that. I think not as well. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who couldn't not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim without the necessary proof that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the Monteros would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries in the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. He may balk at a request for such information, but I have no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I meanwhile shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? You look as though you have something to say, do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. The Brassbaits have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to the recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the blades posted there. Friend of the Sultan, are we? I take it this means someone must have read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return. I'm increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest of what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawaka. He'll explain everything. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Oh, you mean those refugees? Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. Oh, don't hurt me, I'm not the one of them. Beg your pardon, you're not a flame, I see. If I bid you speak with me, then I take it you agreed to help. 12 be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows them flames are on the march. The others have fallen under the fanatic spell, but not I. I promised of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Ha! A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent, and you'll understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. What are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me, or be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? There. It's okay. You're safe. Who are you? What do you want? Why, it's true I followed the merchant, and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give you, we must take, he said when we asked how he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited he split us into two groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing. And then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and oh gods, the other group, they're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Yeah, probably. Probably. Terrified refugee would have you find his brethren and convince them to lay down their arms. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us the agents of the Sultan and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we'd never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they're forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. There we go. Something else they found us. Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you last, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. I'm not my bard. That's not what I wanted to do. Not in time. Ah, crap. Oh, I also didn't have my companion out. Well. That's on me. That's on me. Not enough of using of various skills and such and doing what I should have been doing. Too focused on just doing the attack thing. Let's try this again. Grab your man for the rendezvous point. Yeah. Been there, done that, said that. You killed my chocobo. How dare you? You beat him like it was nothing. The almighty, what are we going to do now? You've returned. Did you find my brethren? What are the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? But what else would he? Where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. Yeah, that's probably what he did. Makes sense to me. Would have you find this shady figure who is trying to stir dissent among his brethren. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but what was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity? Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him. Convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Hey, welcome raiders. Thank you for the raid, Ellie. How are you guys? Means I can close that tab out. Have you seen my parents? Had to make yourself quit, else you'd never get your roulettes done tonight. They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. Left with the man from Olda. The man said they were going to change everything. He said we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? Looking for someone stirring up trouble. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look over there. I think that's him. Oh, now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? I should run. I'm gonna run now. Bye. He's getting away. Go get him. No, I get that. That game was a lot of fun, and I'm want to play it some more. I just don't know when I'll ever get back around to it. But because it's just like I actually want to be playing it right now, but it's like I got other things I need to do and play. And you again? Why are you pursuing me? Hey, Audie. Sedition, treason, revolution. That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorize the streets of Oda? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None! No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a quarrant's arse about politics. It was business. Only business. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. Well, that's a sure sign you're about to die. Because, of course, the first person who says, I'll tell you everything, they're gonna die. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Sadly, this is an arrow. There's no bullet casing that's going to be up on a ridge anywhere that you can go get and try to get fingerprints or anything like that. Hold, adventurer, I would know more about your relationship with the victim as well as the events leading up to his death. This man is responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe his murder a debt of gratitude. In any case, it is obvious that you are not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. But yeah, that was Gundam Breaker is a great game. Makes me want to actually look more into the whole Gundam universe and lore and all that, because that was my first experience with any of it. Not saying I'd actually enjoy any of the rest of it, but I'd at least give it a shot. What news, Illusion? Where is the merchant? Hey, Kitty, how are you? Martyr, damn it all to the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered, he was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Hey, Jacob, how are you? Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Couple things here. So while we've actually got a bunch of people here, we have new goals up for the sub goals. Follower goal hasn't been met, so we're still running off that. But 15 subs, I'll wear a fox mask for an entire stream. 20 subs, I will figure out how to do a Pokemon Nuzlocke randomizer stream and do that. 25 subs, I'll play a shooter while wearing an eye patch over an eye for an entire stream. And 30, I will try pulling off a Goro Majima Yakuza 0 cosplay during a stream. And then we've got, of course, Audie just donated another 2,000 points towards it. We have a community challenge. For if 100,000 points get donated to it, I'll do a Ring Fit Adventure stream. And for that, Yeah, you only give 2,000 points a day, so it's going to take some work to actually pull off. But I'm hoping that you guys can actually do it. And then I'm still looking for meal ideas to cook for a cooking stream. Doing alright, started your sub back up today for 14, and Kitty's good as well. Well, hopefully you're enjoying Final Fantasy 14 again. I know people come and go from MMOs for various reasons. Usually for a lot of people I know it's usually they have a lack of content, or they get bored, or something like that. Burnout. The Flame Journal left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you return. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of your own investigation. Master Alphino has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the royal promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Saying a break for a bit after grinding. I get that. I do that as well, and I just never actually cancel my sub. I log in pretty much enough to keep my house from being demolished, and that's pretty much up until was the case for quite some time. But for those who missed it, last night we finished up the Legend of Dragoon, and so next thing of the in progress stuff that absolutely must get completed is we'll be going back to Mass Effect Andromeda tomorrow night, and I don't know exactly how close we are to finishing that game, but hopefully we can finish that tomorrow. We have been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
Roulette
unit
time,
of brass blades
we.
sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen.
At some point,
But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's
roulettes on this
commanding
character
officer,
as well,
whom I
but
ordered interrogated.
for the most part, I'm not really able to do roulettes on this character yet. Then again, also, you guys, I know Ellie has an ult over on this server, but I don't know how far she ever got with it.
Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Alagon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, We know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Allagan inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cotonou Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
No, we most definitely cannot allow him to have it. He must be stopped.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Okay, let's do the Stream Raider thing here. Okay. New fight up if anyone wants to join that. Now what's Alphino got to say to us? Recent revelations weigh heavily on Alphino's mind. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intend to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, assigned most best suited to this task, Corp Fox. Do take a moment to visit Maelstrom Command and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Begone, whelp, this is no place for children. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? So he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I am afraid. However, I think there's several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Maybe you could wait for me by the pillar over there. We require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Moody will know what to do. Legion of Guardians and aether serve primal. Even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Menphilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they rise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Lucian, this is Ophelia. I would know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Remnant Soul with all due haste. The situation in the Twelves Wood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. Gotta go. Duty calls. Got things to do. Twelveswood, then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Exali activity, which leaves the Sylphs. Go. You know as well as I that the appearance of primals takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I'm grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I'm more than capable of protecting myself. What's Menphilia want now? Can't she do anything for herself? I mean, I know I guess that's asking a lot of Menphilia to actually do something herself, but I mean, really? It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Lucian. The latest news from Dora was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alphino suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other science will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. What is it you want? Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you. I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business, then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have, then it is not certain. The older seeds here informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no sign of undue commotion. Forgive me, Antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for summoning which were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventually and did not to prevent it? I told Palmer I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier, but there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already saw Ramu once right after the clan, but that was because the Garlands came tramping through the forest. Stone was cast from Orion's stands. The Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Olda drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like that the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and quickened their efforts to summon their god. 'Tis like that this... Come on, move along. There we go. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for the primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Though your dealings with the Sylphs of little solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramu can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe, this time, we can... Let us continue this discussion on. We must need first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The Elder Seer has requested your personal involvement. Pray report to Commander Roy at the Outer's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst, while I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter. Experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. I'm sure they will. Teleport away! Thank you, Ellie, for donating another 2,000 points towards the community challenge. Lieutenant Scarlet's feathers seem ruffled by some grave news out of the Twelves Wood. We have ourselves a situation. Or wait, this isn't what I want it to be. Run by one of the birdsmen, blasted war balloons casualties were high. Have you ever seen the beastmen dirigibles? The XL stock them with explosive munitions to rain hell on the targets below you. Usually they float within bow range, the balloon skins are thick and difficult to penetrate, though it can be undone. Thus the spires were constructed, blah blah. I didn't want that quest. I want this. Illusion of the Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a rival is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nafka's altar. The conjurer is in attendance will admit you to the Lotus Stand. Yep, because it's going to take more than just Ellie and Audie coming in and donating 2,000 points every day to make it happen. Even if you don't have a lot of points, even the small amount of points adds up over time. The other signs have already arrived, madam. May I show you in?
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty.
Thank you for the hydrate there, Jacob. Let me go get some water.
I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs, too, have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin.
Thank you again, Jacob, for the hydrate.
Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelves Wood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelves Wood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for little solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin.
Okay, we can put the emote only chat. For once I remember how to do that. Oh, there we go. Two minutes. So for 2 minutes, it's emote only. Got it.
An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelves Wood that flinches at its coming. All the land's Vayorsia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
I think Ellie gets away with doing not emote only chat because she's a mod. Because I do have it set to emote only, so. But yes, she is right. Thank you, Jacob, for donating 2,000 points to the Ring Fit Adventure. I think we still have like another minute left on emote only. Illusion of the Signs, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the Primal Ramu himself. An unenviable task, but for one, I have no doubt you are well suited. I am told that your fellow Silents are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak. That we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found, I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Okay. That's been 2 minutes, so we'll go ahead and turn emote only chat off. Although the email will continue to be there. The servant looks about, seemingly awaiting a visitor. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Silents finish their investigation. I do imagine it will be much longer. This one returns with good tidings. The wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched one summoned Lord Ramu. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow scions? It'll be this one's pleasure, walking one. Please come along. Please come with this one. Okay. Wise ones have ventured deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully. Keep an eye out for touched ones. Ah! Stupid frog. This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. So this one must say farewell for now. Walking one will find wise ones not far from here. To the south, go in safety, walking one. So, it's actually you. I'm relieved. For a moment, I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magic, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Nishtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough of Paul Mo. Hey, my apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I have finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and am pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion, to wit that Ramu was called forth in the vicinity of the Sylph's aetherite. Come, the Lord of Leven awaits. I don't get how a Gabu can fly at all, or well, how half the mounts can fly, but okay.
Thine order betrays thee, servant of hiding. Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult.
Might want to turn your game settings down a little. Which settings would those be?
Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning, no such duality existed.
I can certainly try and turn it down. I don't even know what settings I even have it on.
It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges, that they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
It is rare indeed to find you so far from at home.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Yeah, go ahead. Watch the event. Watch Ramu get his ass kicked. Let's see. Sure, I guess. Apparently this guy's like, hey, I'll help you get through this queue faster. Okay, well. Yes, yes it is. Especially when you've done it as many times as I have here recently. And how many more goddamn times I need to do it. Not only do I need to finish getting all the items here on this character, I then have other characters I have to go and do all that on. I generally do it so far since I've written it about 7 times a day. 7 to 8 times a day, every day. For like the last week. Ow. Oh, come on. This fight never seems to take this long when I'm on my bard.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one.
Was it? Was it really?
In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Asians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Let's see, let's fly on over there. But I've got so many rewards left I gotta get from the stupid Moogle tombstones. It's between all my characters, that's still not even funny. I'm debating between doing that here after I get off stream, or seeing if anyone wants to join me for some Iron Banner on Destiny 2. You returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? He challenged you to a test of arms. It is well then that you have some experience in such matters. The people of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day. The elder seats here must be informed of your deeds at once. The Serpent Lieutenant is ready to send you on your way. The elder seats here will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The Conjurer at Nafka's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well. Welcome back. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The elder seats here awaits you within.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this.
I was like, I'm going to not be joining for Iron Banner on Destiny 2, but I don't think I need to say it. No, you really didn't.
I am informed that your efforts to
I
negotiate
kinda
a
figured you
peace with
wouldn't.
Lord Ramu ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramu made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done.
Really, Ellie? Why not? You love that game.
Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramu has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Thus ends another daunting mission. I'd hoped Lord Ramu could be swayed with words alone, but nonetheless I can only admire the adroitness with which he responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. And it seems that Orengar too was pleased with the outcome. What say you? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stone and ponder the lessons of the day? Yeah. Back to the Rising Stones again. 'Cause none of you can do your own dirty work. Wrong way. Well, it's either that or if anyone wants to join me for doing the non-stop prey runs for tomestones, unless there's a faster way of earning them. But that's just the fastest way I know of earning them. So many goddamn tomestones. back. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramu precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Urangar's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble discuss his observations all together. How's that? And please help me then, because I want to be done with this grind, or that grind. I got other things I want to do.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the waking sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long
my
suspected,
blue mage isn't
that the
up to being
Ascians
able
are
to do
eternal
that.
beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
I think my blue mage on my main is only like level 30 something.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
"'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated."
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of aether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits, should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Okay. Well, nope, we got this video to get through here. Makes me think of the nobodies when they're meeting. The Lord of Levin has returned to the aether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramu's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Heidelin's servant, grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wane. Yet even as it innervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. And that is a task to which you bend our every effort. Divine seeds wherever want to quicken in Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Okay, let's do the stream readers thing, since we actually got some people there. Oh, that wasn't the spell I wanted to use there. Oh well. Well, it looks like Quenby is our only hope. Well, there we go. And then let's see. There we go. New battle's up. Manfilia has some correspondence she wishes to share with you. Now that the matter of Ramu has for the present been put to rest, there is something I would show you. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mugulmog the 12th, Leviathan, and now Ramu. Needless to say, there's only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done in the course of your duties. You have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, and Eorzea is that much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people who have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has never been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solace who wish not of conflict. Of the Almegans and Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there are many unsung individuals who have gathered here in Revenant's toll, honest men and women who seek to employ their skills for the good of all. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget these closest to us, by which I mean our fellow scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Ascians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming to see, and given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alphino, I take it the troubles in Ulda no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from, him. You recall the refugee girl, one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Illusion, you may have been away from Remnant Soul for some time now, I believe, but might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take the summer to reacquaint yourself with the town. Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozen was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him a visit? Went too far. Wasn't paying enough attention. She'll have that. Look, she's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Illusion? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltnote, did you know that Miss Illusion is back? So it seemed. Welcome home. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Signs. I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I'm known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltnote. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the art of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Illusion if she could give us some special training. I think we've already ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you're certainly here, been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Illusion? A demonstration of skilled arms, if you will. I have a counter proposal. I just read that and I clicked and it didn't go away. Or if I didn't know you better than I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Well, mayhaps I am, but what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you? Would you consent to spar with me? Alright, we're on to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint them. Have faith. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make this a worthy contest. Fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. I'll go and upgrade some of my gear, because well, some of this gear is pitiful. So you're gonna have two of these now. Awesome, that's pretty cool. It was good of you to agree to this. I trust you are ready to begin? Yep, I'm ready. Very well, let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Are you certain you wish to fight her alone? This is the warrior light you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the Signs to begin with. Without them to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. You haven't begun yet, have you? What? Who are all these people? I heard about your sparring match. I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there's still more to come. When I mentioned Lucian's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best keep victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win! You can win, Mr. Boulder! We shall soon see. On your guard. Just give up. You have bested me. I yield. That was incredible to beat them both at the same time. We knew you couldn't lose. Not going to defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Now, if you really want to learn from someone, go learn from Ellie. Impressive as always, 'tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they, too, appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea, yes, this is a most fitting title. recall when we first met was at the memorial service for the Battle of Cartano. At the time I was yet attempting to understand the land of Eorzea, I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly, my initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. Gladys' single-minded military invasion preceded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nation's too self-involved, and unstable. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. It was you who taught me through countless acts of bravery that's what my grandsire sought to preserve. Or was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, often infuriating, stubborn people that suffered blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the signs of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue the discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. Thank you for coming. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th Astral Era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution will be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet, while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards ununification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It'll be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugees' revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or ever taxing our formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization, those of the Scions, are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. Before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Lamensa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. That reminds me, I forgot to do. See if going to high desktop does anything. Ah, there you are. I'm ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral... however the hell you pronounce that. While the Admiral and I are finalizing promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I'd have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, and I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, it is of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And you needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are popular with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you're satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter and we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Precursor to the United Orsian Grand Company? Well, I do admire the scope of your ambition. My responsibility are Nautic and familiars keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the room. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. Well, if it ain't illusion, I'd not forget a adventurer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember your old Rio, don't ya? Formerly of the Grand Company of Heroes. 3 whistles at Bronze Lake. It ain't often I drag my arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I'll fare you these days. You're looking to put together a new crew? Top tier work? Sounds like a right lark it does. Alright, last count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into my grave just yet. Now, well, anyone even join that? No, no one did. Who in bloody hell do you think you're talking to, Drylander? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that dandy Carvelane's door. Okay, come on, come on. An organization with freedom to operate with territorial impunity? I must say your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens, well, I know that their time that there is a time to act and a time to watch. I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. New organization, yes, I had heard the formation of this trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets Protection, Linson Lamensa must needs receive my full attention. There's the lift. Like, wait a minute, I know it's around here somewhere. Your recruiting went well, I trust. I am curious as to how my proposal was treated by the rough and ready folk of Limsula Mensa. A member of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Astonished, I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seats here proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nafka's altar. My audience with the Elder Seats here is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the potential candidates here as one dry, let us rendezvous at the airship. Take counter as before. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Could it be that you don't remember me? I, whose crime you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron of Buscarans. Who? I was selling maps and supplies to Garlands before you and those red-bellied butchers mopped the forest floor with my erstwhile employers. Here now, just how many criminals have you dealt with that my ignominious title ignites not the single slightest flicker of recognition? The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to the past of Gridania? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stands, the Woodwellers will have not more to do with me. This may be the second chance I was looking for. Earn a soul, you say? I shall leave at once. You shall not regret this. I promise you, I am a changed man. I'm doubting it. I am very much doubting it. Anything in here I really want? Not at the moment. Grandfather, let's go today. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your timid back is up upon you for good. I'm terribly sorry. We were just... Oh, illusion, isn't it? It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mione tells me it was you who felled the fearsome Black Wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I've seen Isildur safely home. I wanted to say Isildur, but it's like, that don't sound right. And not the right universe. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young mistress, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. Oh yeah, he's the guy who tells you about Hake Manor. But we'll finish up this quest and then we'll go raid someone. 'Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited, and this company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. What news? For my part, the RC's hero is most amenable to our requirements. A former woodwhaler and a seasoned adventurer, our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Short striking to order whilst the iron is hot, let us meet the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. Ulda, the gilded city, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest ascending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting. Wait, you're the lady who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead and a whole lot of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated and vowed to make myself a more worldly man, so here I am. A new company of champions, you say? And it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. Have you come to tell me the news, soldier? Well, I've already heard it. Seems that the would-be savior of Ulda's refugees went and got himself killed. And not by your hand. He was just as much a pawn as the hapless castles he sought to deceive. That's not why you're here? Ah, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the streets say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next all over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Is this some new fashion manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you're wasting your time. This lady's already spoken for. Good day to you. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me? Perchance I'm Orson, the Church of St. Adama Lendama? Thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on Drybone's less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your companion, Thancred, wasn't it? Ah, 'tis new companions you seek. Then your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good. But my place is at the church with the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. How fared you? What hidden gems did the streets of Oda offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth? Well, you're certainly giving us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. And these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the documents signed, and the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned by the Syndicate's involvement, as was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubts surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stone and lay the first stone for United Eorzea.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'Dan law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Now off to the Rising Stones again. This is not a journey I soon wish to repeat, but I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for allowing me to monopolize your services. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free for other duties. Okay. Well, let's take a look and see who's out there to raid. And then I'll be off to see who I can wrangle up for either farming stuff on Final Fantasy XIV or nonsense on Iron Banner and Destiny 2. We'll raid Barugard. When we move over, go ahead and copy and paste this into chat. go ahead and throw up our goal screen here. Just remember, if you want to see any of this stuff, go ahead. Make sure to sub, follow, all that good stuff. And till tomorrow night, we'll be playing Mass Effect Andromeda. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you then. Well, actually, one more thing. Stream may have a delayed start tomorrow night because I am going to go see Marvel's Eternals. So don't look for us at our normal time. We'll probably be very late starting. Have a good night, everyone.